In one word, it's painful. Just, just gonna say that. I guess it depends on the number of colleges you're applying to, but as someone who applied for like 12, it was a lot of work. So you should start like preparing, like club-wise, just test-wise, probably your junior year. But in terms of actually applying, I started looking at colleges beforehand, and I started to apply August, I guess, because that's when the Common App opens. But I didn't really start applying, like sending my applications in probably till like October, November, December. So it has like a 4 or 5 month open window, and I'd say I was using that entire time to send my applications in, just because, like I said, I have 12, so, and all of them had different deadlines, so I just wanted to be sure I got them in before they wouldn't take it. And I think my strong point was my essays, just because for the schools I was applying to, my scores were a little bit, like my test scores were a little bit below average, so I really needed to shine in another area. And since writing is my strong suit, I really put a lot of time and effort into my essays, and I think it really paid off because I wrote stuff I was really proud of. And so yeah, I think essays were the biggest part for me, just because I'm a good writer and I can really shine through those. I think extracurriculars are also something that's very important. I think pursuing clubs you want to do, doing things that make you happy, that really show your interest. I started this club called Women in Government, where each week I would talk, or each club rotation, so about every 4 weeks, I would talk about really powerful women, because government's something I'm really passionate about, and so were women's rights, and so those were, I brought those two together as a way to show people there are like strong women in government, and you can be in government too. So I think that's something that I did at school, which really helped me, because I just pursued clubs such as that. I was in youth and government too, so just joining clubs that really show who you are and show the passions you have, I'd say. I'm not a science person, so I took like no AP science classes, and I did just fine. So I'd say like take challenging classes, but don't force yourself to take like AP chemistry and AP bio and all these like other AP classes if you don't actually want to be in that class, because if they can tell that your thing is really like government, like mine was, they're not going to mind if you don't take all the AP classes. But at the same time, be sure you're challenging yourself.
The way I wrote my essay it was an amalgamation of all the things that occurred in my life and all the passions I had, and that was the best way to have the admissions officer know what kind of a person I am. Be authentic, don't make it formal or forced, and just made it seem a bit more interesting, little by little. And then for every other college I applied to, I just took it and tweaked it a bit so it would fit into the format. The best way to progress in this world is to be yourself.
I would say in your freshman and sophomore year, start thinking about the ACT. Even if it feels like it's early, it's never too early to start. You might have to take it 7 times like I did to get the score that you need. So get your ACT score up, keep your grades up, no matter how difficult it is. A few points in your GPA can make or break your scholarships and your acceptance to colleges. So everything that seemed trivial in middle school is actually important now for your college. Building your resume, you need, the Central hours do a lot for your resume, make you look fantastic to colleges. I would recommend taking more than the minimum requirement of AP classes for Central, because not only does it get you college time and money, but it also shows colleges that you're ambitious and you're working for what you want. I would also say join clubs, play a sport, do a summer camp, do an internship, apply for governor's school, get involved. Whatever you can do to build that resume, show that you're well-rounded, show that you care about your future, it'll make all the difference. Become best friends with your guidance counselor and make a great first impression with your teachers, and leave the same way. Because once you hit your senior year and you need 8,000 letters of recommendation, you will run out of teachers to write them. So you need teachers that like you, teachers that you've been respectful towards, and they'll reward you and they'll write your letters, they'll be thorough, it'll look great, it'll help you in your future. So whatever you put in, you'll get out.
It's really important to get to know your teachers besides just seeing them in class, and outside of the college admissions process. That is a really advantageous thing to do in high school in general, because your teachers are really interesting people, and you can learn a lot from them. but also recommendations are extremely, extremely important in the college process. I think in middle school, I kind of determined that like bio was something that I wanted to look into a lot more in high school, and so when I was a freshman, I was already like starting to take difficult classes in science. I took AP Bio that year, and then I also just made sure I challenged myself in that field. I tried to join Science Olympiad and like Science National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, and I just tried to pursue those interests and like have some sort of a linear like relationship between what I did throughout high school. And then I think one of the biggest things on my application is actually that last summer I did like a research program for 6 weeks, and I think that's something that for a lot of high schoolers, especially around this area, is not an experience that comes like so easily, just like with the resources we have here. So I guess like pursuing extra interests that school might not be able to offer you would be really helpful as well. Yeah, test scores can be important, but I think that once you hit like a baseline anywhere from like a 32 to a 35, then like you're already good. Like they're just trying to use that to determine if you'd be academically prepared to handle the stress load there. I'd say after that, you should probably be focusing on like extracurriculars and doing well in your classes. I think test scores only go so far, and like you can't determine if anyone would get in if like there's plenty of 36s who are rejected every year, stuff like that. So I think it's best not to like stress about that one extra point, and just like focus on other things that could help you more.
My counselor helped me a lot to kind of talk with me. She helped to look at some different schools that offered meteorology, and that really helped a lot. Also, you know, getting things together like transcripts, things like that, to send off to colleges. And in addition, a lot of your teachers, of course, having a really good relationship with your teachers here is really great, because you have to ask a lot of them for recommendations. So you can get really good at recommendations. They can write a lot about you. They really know what, you know, what to look for in a person, so they can put that into the application. Make yourself a good applicant. A lot of it is not really about your test scores. Of course, like having a test score in a good range allows for you to have some more wiggle room when it comes to academics. But definitely putting yourself out there, doing several different things, not just focusing on just academics, but also getting yourself involved with extracurriculars as well. I was involved in several extracurriculars, like I said. I was also part of the Beta Club, National Honor Society, baseball, French horn. I also did Mesa de Español. So I did several different things in high school that really put myself out there. Also, service is something big, especially you have a leadership position in a service organization, like National Honor Society. That there's a lot of service that was oriented with that. Like I had to be in charge of the Angel Tree Project, so that was that really helped my service and leadership aspect.